Class is now in session. Welcome to Music Marketing 101. Today we're going to be talking about Spotify playlists. Spotify is king when it comes to music discovery and artist growth. But with over 100,000 new songs being added every day, how can you make sure your music stands out and gets noticed? My name is Anthony, former Billboard charting musician and current music marketer, and today I'm going to walk you through the step-by-step process of submitting your music to Spotify playlists. If you like what you hear, consider following, share with a friend, leave a comment, do what you will. Now let's dive in and unlock the secrets to getting your music noticed on Spotify playlists. First thing we got to understand is the types of Spotify playlists. Luckily, they're broken down into 3 categories: editorial, algorithmic, and listener playlists. Each type of Spotify playlist serves a unique purpose and offers different opportunities for artists. For example, an editorial playlist might feature the latest hits in a specific genre, providing a platform for established and emerging artists. Algorithmic playlists, on the other hand, use data to cater to the individual listener's tastes, exposing them to artists that they might like. User-generated playlists often revolve around different themes or moods, so artists can reach different listeners in various different contexts. Now, being on these playlists, whether editorial, algorithmic, or listener curated, can give you various benefits as an artist. First of all, getting on an editorial playlist can lead to increased follower count, wider audience reach, and industry recognition, which is probably the most important one. Editorial playlists like New Music Friday can add legitimacy to an artist, right? As listeners see their music featured alongside other popular artists. Algorithmic playlists, such as Discover Weekly, expose your music to listeners who have similar listening habits, increasing the chances of you building an even wider audience. Listener or curated playlists can also help expand your network and get more streams. For example, create a genre-specific playlist, get a bunch of artists in your niche to agree to help market it to their fans, and boom, you have a new networking strategy and way to get more listeners through networking. Now, how do you actually get on these playlists? So the only ones that you can actually submit to are editorial and listener playlists. Algorithmic playlists, it's all in the algorithm, and I have a whole guide on it on my website on oddlysimple.xyz. But let's talk about how you can get on editorial playlists. There are so many best practices, and I've written a ton of content on this, but here are some quick tips for you to check out. Now, how do you get on listener playlists? Again, I've covered this so many times. You can visit my website, oddlysimple.xyz, for the full guide, but here are some quick tips as well for you right here. Now, it's very important to remember that not every single time that you submit to a playlist, whether editorial or listener, will actually result in a placement. It's important to not get discouraged. Each rejection is going to bring up a new learning opportunity, bring up valuable insights that can guide you on optimizing your future submissions. If your music isn't added to a playlist, take the time to analyze the feedback, if any, and understand the reasons behind the rejection. Maybe the song wasn't a good fit for the playlist, or maybe your pitch could have been better. Use these findings to improve your music or pitch and refine your approach for future submissions. Another thing, there's more. When pitching to listener playlists, you gotta avoid scams. And what I mean by this is that if anyone asks you for X amount of dollars in exchange for a playlist placement, this is actually against Spotify's terms and conditions. So if anyone asks you for money in exchange to be placed in a playlist, run as fast as you can. Now, here's my problem with Spotify playlisting, however, and I'm talking specifically about third-party playlists or listener playlists. They are what I refer to as passive listeners. Just look at this post by my good friend over on LinkedIn. This is what happens when his music got taken off a playlist. But Anthony, what about playlisting services? I see ads for them all the time on Facebook. So here at Simple, we are against giving money in exchange for playlist placements, but there are playlisting services that I have used historically that I trust. They're very similar to Publicists. You charge them a fee and they go out and pitch you to different blogs. And in this case, it's the same concept, but for playlists. But just keep in mind, this is not the recommended marketing channel. It's just one piece of the pie in my opinion. But here are the top 5 playlisting services in no particular order. I've used them all before and I highly recommend them. If you have any and all questions whatsoever, feel free to leave a comment. Visit my website, oddlysimple.xyz, for more information and hit me up. Let's run a campaign together. Not playlisting though. I don't do that. I do music marketing. So I can help you come up with different social media posts. I can help you run ads and just grow your Spotify. Hit me up. Peace.